What is Pranic psychotherapy and how long does it take to learn Pranic psychotherapy? This is also a 2-day program, friends, like basic and advanced pranic healing course. But this program brings us to a new dimension of learning when compared to the previous 2 programs. Because the main cause for illnesses sometimes are not necessarily physical, they are psychosomatic in nature. That is why many of the illnesses, they do not have complete cure in allopathic medicine, because the cause is psychosomatic. So in other words, stress or anxiety which affects the chakras, they become a primary cause for chronic illnesses. In Pranic psychotherapy, you are taught how stress is energy and how this energy affects the physical body. If stress is energy, we will also be taught this is a contagious type of energy which can be transferred from one person to another person. So in other words, your fear and anxiety are also energy. So this fear and anxiety energies can cause illnesses, which can cause depression, anxiety, which can cause sometimes suicidal tendencies. This can be a primary cause for breakdown of relationship or marriages. So fixing relationship issues, suicidal tendencies, these are magical techniques which pranic healing teaches or pranic psychotherapy teaches to help people. In other words, it's not anymore about psychological illnesses, healing psychological illnesses, but also bringing people out of having a low phase of life because of non-productivity in business or in their work environment. A person who is not able to produce results or earn money can be made successful by changing the psychological conditions. The question is why and how? How can this be done? We need to understand that every thought is energy, and whatever we think, we become that, right? That is why it is said, friends, what you believe, you become that. What you think, you become that. So your thinking shapes your future. In other words, what we are right now is a product of our thoughts. We call this karma. So if we can change the thoughts, if we can disintegrate the thoughts, if we can understand how to handle thoughts, looks very strange and abstract, right? So thoughts in this program are taught as things. So like how a carpenter makes a furniture or a product, we produce thoughts and feelings. These thoughts and feelings, which are products of us, can be seen, can be touched. It has smell and taste. So if you can touch a thought, you can feel it, you can disintegrate it also. So in pranic psychotherapy, you are taught how to disintegrate your own negative thoughts and recreate something new. In other words, technique to win karma is revealed for the first time to masses through pranic psychotherapy. In other words, a complete new dimension of learning to create a free will, to shape your life and future is done using pranic psychotherapy. In pranic psychotherapy, you are taught how chakras have psychological function. And if the psychological functions, if chakras have psychological function, can we, by touching and feeling the quality of energy in the chakra, tell the caliber and the nature of the person, the behavior of the person? This can be taught to you in pranic psychotherapy. This is one of the exceptional learnings. In other words, every time we think and feel, when we produce energy, it attracts similar energies. We all know this. But what is the kind of energy that gets attracted to our thoughts, which bring good luck and bad luck? Is there anything called bad luck at all? Is bad luck an accident or a choice? By choosing right thoughts, we attract right energy beings which can help us. But if somebody is continuously connected with negative thoughts, they attract negative elementals. So what are negative elementals? How do people get influenced by negative elementals suffer? What is the main reason for hallucination or visual hallucination or auditory hallucination? When people go into depression, how do they get addicted to certain negative qualities? How to bring a person out of addiction? Addiction out of not only smoking, drinking, but also addiction to habits. Like what? Like addiction these days, kids get addicted to mobile phones, right? So these kind of addictions can be removed. Pranic psychotherapy as a concept, as an experience, as a healing modality can change the quality of children who are suffering from hyperactivity, autism. Wow, this is a gift that you can give to the parents. Mental illnesses. Now, if somebody is overwhelmed by sexual desire and they are addicted to excessive sex drive, how to get the person out of this? How to transmute sex energy using divine energy and convert it into creative energy for the welfare of people. This will be taught in this program, which is a gift for the world. You'll be also taught how pranic psychotherapy can be used to produce financial healing. In other words, thoughts or things, they just not only affect your health condition, they also affect your ability to attract money, attract the right co-workers, create an amazing future. All this will be taught in pranic psychotherapy. Various types of self-healing techniques will be taught. Without having to move your hands, how you can produce magical, miraculous healing. This will also be taught in pranic psychotherapy. If somebody is going through guilt and tremendous low or poor self-esteem, how do you get this person out of this kind of psychological thinking pattern and make the person successful in life? This can be done using pranic psychotherapy. I can keep on talking about this for hours and hours. Friends, this is the program of our life. We have to read, we have to go through this session, we have to learn pranic psychotherapy. This is the best gift you can give to yourself and your family. Namaste.